We're live, baby.
Hey guys, welcome back for another episode of the Ghetto Rig podcast. For those who don't know, my name is Eddie. To the left, we have my co-host Jay behind the camera, controlling all the buttons and good stuff back there. Miggy. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode. Shout out to our official sponsors, UFC Gym Largo. Don't pay attention to this kid, the sped kid next to me. He's just doing his thing. He'll get it out of him.
235 episodes.
It's 200. That's what you're doing. Okay,
Yeah.
I was just making sure. Like you scared me for a second, Jay. I
They're
thought we were
throwing
gonna have to
fighting
call
signs.
He
someone.
was throwing gangs.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was doing over there, bro. Shout out to our official sponsors, UFC Gym Largo, Pinellas Park, and Vitality Wellness Centers. Jay's over there repping the t-shirt. Go get yourself one at the UFC Gym in Largo. And Pinellas Park is coming along. I saw a video today, and the gym looks like pretty
Badass.
close to being done.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I can't wait to finally get back to jiu-jitsu. But yeah, we'll get into it. We were talking about cameras and stuff. There you go, Jay, doing. God damn it. What are you doing?
Are we dark, guys, on the thing? It looks dark, no?
I know we have the light on for the thing that's messing us up right now, which is gonna make us not look so yellow anymore. Boom.
Hey.
Yeah.
But
So, Miggy, can
you wanted to pull up something, yeah, Miggy. Yeah, that's what I was gonna go with. You wanted to show us someone getting fucking AC 140s.
Iran's going crazy right now, dude.
Yeah, Iran is going crazy, isn't he? Bro, have you seen some of those reels that people have been making?
Like what? For what? Like
So
I've seen a whole lot of AI gorillas. That's all. That's a lot I'm seeing of right
rockets go down, hit, explodes, and then they cut it into somebody cooking with fire.
Oh
and
my
they
God.
explode again, they cooking with fire again, and then they blast like Arabic music while the guy's cooking.
I don't know if you want to put on your headphones for immersion.
Yeah, I'll go ahead
And I don't want to show it on stream, but people probably already know about this.
Oh
Jesus.
hell no, bro!
Oh shit, the rocket hit her while she was talking?
Yeah.
No
What the
way.
hell? Damn.
She said, "Fuck your news."
Yeah,
Get the fuck
Israel
outta
don't
here.
Israel don't fuck around, huh?
God damn.
Israel not taking no damn prisoners.
In latest news, they want to drop bunker buster bombs into the nuclear site that they have going on.
Oh, that's
over there.
smart.
Now, this may be completely fake, but I heard those bombs are like 50 mil each.
The bombs are $50 million each.
Yeah.
It could be. I mean, those bombs are not cheap, especially like bunker busters.
And they plan on sending a couple. So the way they have to do it is they have to do it Top Gun style, where they have to stack the bombs,
Mm-hmm.
and they have to throw one into the hole, and then the other one has to go through that same hole, and they probably need about 2 to 3 bombs to fully destroy that.
So how are they gonna do that? Or are they gonna just?
They're gonna use B-52 bombers. The Blackbirds type style, not the Blackbirds, but
B-52 bombers. Do they have B-52 bombers? Does Israel have
or
B-52?
B-2 bombers. Sorry, not B-52. B-2 bombers.
Does Israel have B-2s?
No, only America can do that.
So, are they saying that America is going to war with Iran right now?
No, I mean, Trump keeps saying that we're not going to war with them.
So how the fuck
But
are they
we-
gonna do this?
But we keep positioning ourselves over there.
This is like when your little brother's fighting and you go in, you just throw one punch and then back out. You're like, I didn't do nothing. I ain't do
Yeah.
nothing.
we have,
Oh,
This isn't my fight.
Or you push the guy the wrong way so your
Yeah.
brother can land the punch.
these are the planes that they want to use for that.
So who? When you said they want to use, who's they?
Like the plan, the world, or what's being talked about in the news, is that Israel will need the U.S. to come in with these as one of the ways to destroy the nuclear site.
But they can't hover. Can they hover those planes in the air like that?
44 hours.
They can hover them like
They
that.
can hover the B-2. They have two pilots on them, and they can last up there for about 44 hours.
But cause see, this means that United States directly is gonna go to war.
No, we're not. we don't have to deploy ground groups, but we can supply Israel, which is what we're already doing.
Well, we can supply
Coño,
Israel.
supply
What
is
are they
one
gonna do?
thing
We're gonna lend them fucking million dollar planes?
Israel cannot drop those. We have to do, only B2 bomber can do that.
And also, our personnel are the only ones that know how to do it. We would have to train
Well, that's the MOAB.
Israel how to train it.
That's the MOAB.
The Mo was the biggest one that we have ever used. This is also a test.
Yeah, but the other one's bigger.
Correct. That is the biggest bomb that we've ever dropped, and I think that was in like 2005. I think.
Yeah.
This sounds to me, if they want to do that, this sounds to me the United States has to go into war because they're not going to be able to train these pilots in like a weekend to fly the
That's why
B2.
it's gonna take time. Yeah. But
So
there is also news that they keep sending another naval fleet over to by Israel. I don't remember exactly where.
to the water there,
Yeah.
to the canal, but they have to get the okay from Saudis, which they probably will.
Well, Trump already sent them, and they're buddies right now.
Yeah, Saudis will let them go through the canal. Oh, hook a brother up. No,
flavor
actually,
do you
I don't want. I don't
What
want.
flavor?
No,
I
I
already
don't
got
want.
it. Hey,
Yeah.
I already got it.
Whatever you grab, it's fine.
In response
these are
to
just
escalating
leftovers.
tensions between Israel and Iran, the U.S. Navy has deployed additional warships, including aircraft carriers and destroyers, to the Middle East. This military buildup is aimed at deterring further aggression, defending Israel, and protecting the U.S. forces. The U.S. has moved the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier strike group to the eastern Mediterranean. This strike group, one of the largest and most advanced in the U.S. Navy, is equipped with numerous fighter jets, advanced radar systems, and defensive weaponry. Additionally, the USS Nimitz carrier strike group is being deployed to the Middle East, replacing USS Carlson Vincent strike group, which has been operating in the region for some time.
I'm gonna send you this video if you want to play it. Let me copy the link and throw it in a Discord.
It's just crazy to me that this guy keeps talking crazy while he's in this bunker.
It's in mod chat. Yeah, the Iranian dude.
Yeah.
I love. But I think it's hilarious to see that, like, war has taken to Twitter,
Yeah.
and
you
like they
see
talking.
everything.
They literally are like trash talking each other
Mhm.
on Twitter.
Mhm.
I think that's like crazy to see that. How deep politics has gotten embedded into social media,
Yeah, I think
even on a war level.
I think Papi Trump was the one that kind of did all that. He was the first because before him everybody was very civil. Like nobody ever. When Trump came and especially during first one when he was talking shit about Clinton, and then during second one when Biden said something and then Trump was like, I don't even know what he just said. I don't think he knows what he just said. You know what I mean? But this video kind of demonstrates, like this demonstrates like the might of the world, right?
You
As
don't
far as
play
the
audio for it or no?
you don't have to. I mean, you can if you want, but this shows the amount of air force that each country has, right? Israel is 612, right? There are only a couple of countries above Iran. Brazil has more than Israel. I guess Brazil is also in beef with the United States now too, because they were helping Iran get uranium, and Iran was taking Brazilian uranium to enrich it. They're allowed to enrich it up to 3%, according to agreements, but they were enriching it up to 60%, right? So that was like a big thing. But we all knew that they were doing it. Look at South Korea; they're at 1,000. Pakistan has got more than Israel and and India and Iran combined. India definitely more. China, Russia, and then that's where United States steps in.
And then the U.S. fucking quadrupling their military budget.
Yeah. Play that shit. See the size of that fucking.
Just look up.
Yeah. 14,000, bro.
I mean, I guess again that's what happens when all your military budget or all your budget's on the military.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the world, like United States, no one can really fuck with United States. We can't.
I mean, they can. They can try.
Well, not
Fuck
only
around and
that-
find out, bitch.
Not only that, strategically, we're on a fucking island. Who's gonna, hey Nat, who's gonna even come close to it? They're not even gonna come close to it.
I mean, they can if they unite powers, and that's kind of what an alliance is for and why they exist.
But
you can get China and Russia, and then that's a big issue for us.
even if China and Russia combine their entire air force, we still got more fucking equipment than they do, both together.
But they have a fighting chance. They have a shit ton of fucking people.
150 million? We double them.
China?
No, China, yeah. China
Come
does.
on, China and Russia.
Yeah, but they
Russia's
gotta-
depleted right now. They're recharging.
Yeah. They better be smashing out there, huh?
They out there. Them bitches are fucking for real.
But the thing is, China has to bring their people over towards us. How the fuck are they gonna do that? The only way they can do that.
Jets, carriers, and
no
Navy.
way is anyone coming to the U.S.
No, the only way they can do this is by boats, and then that's gonna be what,
Not-
1,000, 2,000
For-
people at a time.
and no way is a country gonna attack the U.S. by foot troop.
There's no fucking way.
way. I don't see it happening.
It's just
Not China or Russia, not coming through the fucking east or west coast. No.
unless they're somehow gonna dig a hole through the fucking Earth's core and then just crawl through it. You know what I mean? Like I don't see how that would
No.
be happening.
I don't think
The
so.
U.S.
Possible.
is the only country that's crazy enough to just send in a shit ton of troops and start a war for 20 years for no reason.
The best way for
Yeah.
them to, I think the best chance for them to win is to win before the fight even starts, in the sense of like coming together as one force and like fucking nuking everywhere.
Overpowering.
Yeah, just obliterating the whole thing all at once.
But do you
That would
think
be the only chance.
do you think they can? They can. I mean, what are some of the countries that have the nuclear weapons? China, Russia.
But you can't just nuke. The moment you use a nuclear weapon, you're fucked. The whole entire world is against you, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. So
Well,
so if they're gonna send intercontinental missiles,
If it's not completely necessary, or this one specific country's taking over the world, and you use that fucking nuke, you're done.
we got away with it twice.
Yeah, but it saved the world for the better of everybody, right?
What do you mean? It was just to fucking get the Japanese to surrender.
Yeah,
The Germans were already done.
yeah. Germany said good night.
Yeah, Germany was
Russia was
fucking
ready to get it over.
tucked in.
Even if the U.S. wouldn't have done it, Russia would have done it. They were sick and tired of fighting. They were the ones that were throwing their fucking men into Japan.
Yeah, I think at that time was more of a Wild Wild West situation where nobody was governing anything. We're like, well, let's try this new thing we've got. You know.
I mean, it was technically a test weapon, just like this bunker buster is. They
Mhm.
didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen.
Yeah,
but,
no.
But now that we know what it does, again, just don't do it again. It's not worth it.
I just don't see the only way I think this would be possible if some of Canada and Mexico agreed on inviting a bunch of other troops, and then they over the years transported X amount of troops there where they can actually throw them in, because you got to think about it. We have 350 million people. What's the active count of active military right now in the United States? Can you pull that up? Active military members in the United
This
States.
ain't counting all the rednecks with AR-15s.
Yeah, that's not even counting them. Yeah. You know, them boys been itching for a fight.
1.3.
1.3 million. There you go. It says 1.3 million. They would need to bring in at least 1.3 million, probably twice that, because they're on a foreign soil, to transport 2 million people into between two countries, and then get them to agree to do that
on two fronts.
on two fronts. That's gonna be very, very fucking difficult.
Yeah, because ain't no way someone's winning that war on a single front in this country. No way.
No,
Not happening.
they're gonna have to attack by land, by sea, and by air. They're gonna have to attack by everything. And
And then after that, you got 767,000 reserves.
Yeah, and then by that time, if that happens, that's immediate mobilization. All of us are going to the fucking front line. Now you have, say, can you look up how many people are between ages of 18 to 65 in the United States, male?
18 to
65, not military, just people in general, males.
USA and just population.
Yeah.
I feel like
Population,
something would
18
have
to
to
65.
reset before we
Yeah.
actually see that scale of a war for Americans to take place in.
Yeah.
Right now, we have too many resources to do it technologically, with drones and planes and all that shit. I think we would need to go. I think it would be a real. I don't know. Maybe I sound stupid saying this, but I think it's real far fetched to see us right now, us get called into the draft.
Yeah, so look, between 205 to 210, divide that in half. So you're looking at 100 million males that are ready to be drafted. Literally. 101 males to be drafted. Million. You think if there's a fight on our soil, they're not drafting them? Everybody getting drafted.
Well, these are all males, Miguel, or these are just people?
These are just people, but then you divide 50%. United States is about 50% men and 50% women. Yeah, so you're gonna be at see, there's 100 million males.
Well, they're not gonna send 45 to 64-year-olds.
That's what your 62-year-old. That's where the draft.
They don't send 62-year-olds.
They don't, but that's how far the
50-year-olds.
draft can go.
No, Jay, that's not how far.
Pull
the
up the draft laws.
Pull that up, Miguel,
I wonder
please.
if they could draft you if you are that old, but you've had prior military.
Well, that's who's gonna go first. Those are gonna be the ones that are gonna go
all
first.
All the veterans and everything.
Yeah, all the veterans are gonna get drafted first. If anything, they're gonna need them to train the new troops.
People like me, Miguel, our last
what
resort.
What did you want me to look up?
Because we're our only.
Only
boys.
No, there's a.
They can still draft us.
Yeah, there's
but
a
we're
rule,
last resort. Like when they first draft, they won't draft us because we're the only sons to our fathers.
Now there's a question that was brought up on a podcast. Will the U.S. fall like Rome did?
No, it would not, because the reason Rome fell, just like every other country out there back in the day, was because of the communication, because they couldn't send troops enough fast enough from one end to the other end, and they didn't have the communication methods. It took, because a horse can only run 20 kilometers, not even miles, at full gallop. Then they have to stop and rest for a day to run again for another 20.
Now, the more interesting point that the guy brought up was the U.S. is going to end eventually.
It will. It will,
but
when?
Be an end. Everything ends.
Yeah, it will. It will,
yes,
but...
it will. A million years from now, you're not going to be here. 1,000 years from now, you're probably not going to be here.
The thousand
still. You are definitely not going to be
1,000, I think 1,000 United States will exist still. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are right now talking about, like, why are we being the world police? And they don't want United States to be world police, meaning sending money and, like, the minute we stop doing that, that's going to be the beginning of the end. We have to be the world police. Until we're the world police, until we're controlling the rest of the world, military might and financial markets, United States always going to be on top.
I wish that was a big point that they made in history, learning American history growing up. Is the transition of America being like this new country to the top. That's never really like pointed out in detail how that exactly happened. I mean, yes, we go through the Industrial Revolution and all these different things, but like each like stepping stone to getting there kind of thing.
Well, it was done by a couple of very rich families, Rockefellers and all of those people. They were the ones that did it because they had connections still in Europe and everything, and they kind of made a bunch of money here, and they took that money. The ones that built the railroads and things like that went to Europe and started buying up politicians through corruption and stuff like that, controlling them, and that's how we took over everything. They just literally because, and then we continue to do that with our CIA. When CIA sends troops there, trains, because we play on both sides. We sell weapons to both sides. The minute you think that we're not selling weapons to Iran, you're wrong. We're selling weapons to Iran, and we're selling weapons to Israel.
I've been watching
currently.
I've been watching Asmongold TV news.
Oh my god!
And his chat was like, "Look, another war wouldn't be that bad." And he's like, "No, you're not wrong." And he's completely opposed to going to the war. He doesn't want the U.S. going to war, but he's like, But a U.S. war would help the economy.
But the World War II, we didn't go to war. We were like forced to go to war. Yeah. You know how that whole thing happened, right?
We were out of it for
and then
we avoided it on multiple occasions as well. We intercepted multiple messages from Germany to Mexico. Germany was trying to get Mexico to basically turn on us and involve us in the war. And there was multiple messages that we intercepted and chose to basically ignore.
Yeah.
And there was eventually a point that...
No, it wasn't that. It was because they sunk that ship. And what they did was they told them, don't put this... I think it was a cargo ship that was sending like supplies and shit. Mm-hmm. And they said, don't put any flags or anything. So actually, there's some conspiracy theories that Israel was somehow, or Jewish were somehow involved in this whole thing of sinking the ship to drag the United States into the war because they knew if the United States steps in, they're going to win the war against Germany. And there's that conspiracy theory there. But it all happened because they sunk that ship. It was an accident, but it wasn't a fucking accident. It was planned out, right? Nothing in war happens like that by accident. By accident, it happens only on a battlefield, not in the fucking open ocean when there's a ship coming through. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of knew what it was, and that's how the United States got dragged into the war. Vietnam was its own little thing, and then we've done localized wars, but we've never done like a world war. World War One and Two, we were dragged into both.
If we're talking about World War II, we were really dragged in because of Pearl Harbor. That was the fucking biggest reason why we got dragged in.
Yeah, but we already took care of them Japan people. We already took care of them. They were not going to pick up their head anymore.
People that invaded us. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm talking about specifically for World War II, why the U.S. got dragged in.
Well, they're saying that even that wasn't a big deal. The big deal was them sinking our ship. Over a ship.
2,000 something people?
Yeah, 2,000 people.
In Pearl Harbor? That wasn't a big deal. That was fucking huge.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is not a big deal.
American military base. Everybody was
But I think he's right, Miguel. The start of us actually getting involved had to do with that ship.
Yeah, because we sent
when
bombs to Japan and squashed Japan quickly.
Now, when the U.S. said, "Oh, okay, now we're coming,"
yes,
is when Pearl Harbor happened. But we had gotten involved.
We were trying to investigate.
No, we had gotten involved already beforehand, but not on the scale we did after Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll take that answer.
But
I do remember learning about that ship. That's
because the United States usually doesn't want to go into war because we make way more money not going into wars because we can sell weapons to both sides. Now, if you ever watch that movie I think it's called God of War, but it's with Nicolas Cage, and he kind of touches on this. It's not exactly Lord of War. Yeah, there you go. It's not exactly how it happens, how they say it in a movie, because it's a movie at the end of the day. But it's done by gun smugglers that are from United States, and then these gun smugglers are directly involved with the United States government. They get the weapons and they sell it to the other side, right? And this has been going on for ages. That's the only way we're able to. We supply weapons on both sides. As long as they continue fighting, they don't come to us, right? Like, Iran. But there's also a thing where because of our continuous support of Israel, a lot of the Arab countries don't like us because of that. So a lot of people are saying if we don't support Israel, they're not going to hate us. But a lot of that is kind of like smoke and mirrors, I think, because those people are just as ambitious as Russia and China. Like if you give them an inch, they're going to continue. Now you have another enemy you need to worry about.
I have a question that you're not going to be able
I want to clarify real quick before we move on so you guys have the real answer. Basically, we did provide aid to the Allies beforehand, but never got involved combatively.
Correct.
Until Pearl Harbor.
Yes. And they sunk that ship. The aid was going there. They sunk that ship because they said, don't put the flags on there. And I think it was our own side, our own people were like, fucking knock that bitch down.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
As you were going to say, Miggy.
Forgot.
There's a question that we were not going to be able to answer.
Egypt. Why the fuck did it get banned from one of the flag countries? Other than the fact that it's in the Middle East and it could
why you got banned from what?
Militarily involved at any moment.
Trump banned us from traveling to a bunch of countries right now.
Egypt?
Yeah.
Egypt's been getting radicalized slowly with Muslim religion. Like, it's been happening for the past 10 years or so, 20 years. They've been radicalized by Muslims, and they've been actually like pretty much like committing genocide on Christians that live there. There's a big population of Christians, and a lot of those Egyptians that you see when somebody says I'm an Egyptian, if you ask them, hey, are you Christian or Muslim, most likely the answer is going to be because they're Christian, because they're running away, right? So I think they got radicalized because the Taliban and the Al Qaeda and all of those guys, they're getting a little deeper and deeper into those. The only country that's radical, very Muslim radical, is Turkey, but we have a base there, so Turkey doesn't really say much. We just continue keeping our base there. It's a strategic point for us, right? So we can maintain that relationship. Because we have Turkey, we don't care about Egypt, we don't care about the other countries, so on and so forth, right? So vetting and identity system, whatever, this is bullshit. Visa overstays and repatriation, that's bullshit. National security concerns, that's that one right there. National security concerns, that's it. What happens next? Yeah. First two reasons are bullshit. Yeah, everybody overstays
So
here.
what is the whole idea of like, banning the travel and this? Is it supposed to like they don't want people going to the country and getting corrupted?
It is
and
not
sent
fully
back over?
banned, by the way.
No,
Is
will
it partial?
clarify.
Yeah, so what it is...
It's a list of, not fully banned list to talk on, but is on the expanded list of 36 countries the Trump administration has flagged for potential entry restrictions.
It's entry restrictions to United States, right? Not going there.
Oh.
I did see he banned like certain countries you can't travel from the U.S. there.
Yeah, so why are they putting them on a list, right? Number one is dangerous. They can take these people, and now you have to be in negotiations. Like, number one. Number two, if you're going there, you possibly could be a double agent, like getting
You could
information.
get corrupted. Okay. That's
Yeah,
what I thought.
So yeah, Afghanistan, Chad,
Syria,
Democratic Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea,
No,
Eritrea,
fucking
Haiti,
Jay moves
Iran, Libya, Myanmar, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. What's a one thing in these countries that you read here from the list? What's a one thing that's unifying them all?
A lot of them are black.
No, that's not it. They're different shades, but they're not. That's not
I
it.
said a lot of them, though.
They're a different shade, but one thing that they all have in common
They're
is
in the Middle
religion.
East.
Their religion, because some of the countries are in Africa. It's the religion. They're all Muslim countries, primarily Muslim countries. That's what it is. And those are the hotspots, because Yemen is
what
known.
you're saying is a Muslim state does not work.
No, Muslim states works for Muslim countries, right? Like if Muslim state did not work, they wouldn't.
But they have so much conflict and
Born-
they're always fighting each other.
They're so amongst themselves, like in Yemen, for example, right? Like there's a lot of tribes that fight each other, but the problem is not that. The problem is they're super radical, and they're like kill the infidels, super radical, right? Like even if there's no beef with them, they just want to kill everybody that is not Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
They're that radical. This is why the only country in there that's not Muslim is Haiti.
And they practice voodoo.
Well, whatever they
That
practice.
is like their
That is their religion.
Yeah,
That's their biggest religion. Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
national religion.
yeah, but
Yeah.
go. But they're not. It's not because they practice voodoo. In Haiti is a little bit different. Haiti is just like fucking.
They're fucking.
It's
I don't know, dude. I don't even know how to explain Haiti. Haiti's so
Haiti?
fucked.
You
I
wanna
think-
play
I think-
Haiti?
I think Trump kind of explained Haiti.
Haiti's take a concrete jungle and then slap 2 meters of dirt all over the whole fucking thing.
See the thing is,
And rip all the trees out,
yeah,
every single one,
Everything's
right?
just fucking
So it's
dry.
just broken concrete and dirt.
yeah. And then you know what? You really get to see what Haiti is like without going to Haiti. If you go to like Dominican Republic and you go into those like poorer neighborhoods that we pass through, especially in Punta Cana where a bunch of Haitians live, you get really to see what
That's
is.
not even really close.
That's
to
not
what,
even close.
to
Exactly.
what Haiti looks like, bro. Like, and
The reason they're there because situation is better there
way
than
better.
it is in Haiti.
Way
yeah.
better.
And these people will literally take showers in puddles and shit.
Yes, I mean,
Yeah. They're talking about like eating cats. Like clearly that didn't happen in the United States, but it does happen in Haiti, right?
oh, they're
So-
eating whatever they can find, dog.
Yeah.
And like here,
No, not. You're right. Haiti is not part of it.
here, like homeless people, they can like go to a shelter, like
Yeah.
beg on the street and stuff like that. Over there, bro, they kind of have to fend for themselves. And
Mhm.
most of the time, when I always think about it this way, like when you find someone in the Punta Cana area, right, and you're like, man, this guy's nice, whatever it may be, but why don't you work in the hotel? Why don't you? I always like think about that. There's got to be a reason sometimes, right? Or like for example, even going down to like the lowest level, like bro, there's a job here for fucking everyone, right?
Yeah, of course.
right? So why is this guy sitting here fucking doing like the stupidest shit, right? Like there's got to be a reason. Like nobody will hire you. Right? There's got to be a reason. Like you're a drug addict, whatever it is, you've touched someone, something happened where no one wants to hire you. And it's crazy because like over there, even the homeless people are working to make their money in the sense of like they're fucking trying to sell you flowers they just picked. Or like, for example, when
The
we
kids,
got off
yeah.
when we got off the boat, we got off our catamaran, we were in DR. There was a guy standing in the middle of the walkway next to the shack where the beach was. That he had a bucket. He was squatting down, sitting in the middle of the walkway with a bucket full of water, offering to like wash people's feet off, before, like from where the sand, or from sand to concrete, right? And I was sitting there and I thought about it like in the sense of like, damn, why is this motherfucker like doing this? Like clearly probably nobody will hire him. Like there's got to be something. And then on the other hand, you think about it, it's like, well, at least he's trying to do fucking something still, you know?
And I think there's a little bit of
versus here, the bum would just be sleeping in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah, there's probably a little bit of nationalism as well. Like they're like, okay, you're Haitian, you're not Dominican type of deal. Nationalism exists in every country.
100%.
It's not just Dominican Republic. Every country has that.
It's a big thing in DR because, you know, like the stigma.
Well, DR has always been getting the fucking shit end of the stick by saying, well, why don't you help Haiti? DR is like, well, what the fuck, motherfucker?
Have you seen DR?
That's what I'm saying. Like, how am I supposed to help Haiti when I have to help my own people and I can't even keep up with that shit? You want me to go and help fucking Haiti? But the international community always giving them shit about that, right? So they're like, well, we don't want to get these immigrants in because they come in, they cause trouble, they do this, they do that.
The problem with DR, I think, is that people look at it and think they can say things like that because they look at cities like the capital or cities like Punta Cana, and it's. You know, the majority of DR is nowhere near that developed.
No.
Nowhere near, bro.
Yeah, no.
I mean, like, you have, like...
Punta Cana itself is not... If not the hotels, the place will look like a fucking dirt. Like piece of dirt.
You know how here, when you go into fucking the mountains and you'll find some motherfucker that still doesn't know what internet is?
Yeah, yeah.
There's way more of that over there, like, population-wise. Because here we have that, but it's just so little of population lives in those rural areas.
And even in rural areas, they have the fucking Starlink, right?
Yeah, so. Right, exactly. But, you know, like, over there, bro, like, it's not like that, you know? Like,
you're talking about cell phones. Everybody got a cell phone here.
It's what we would call, it's a lot of fucking campo, which I don't know how you would say that in English, but a lot of woodlands. I don't know how else you would put it, but...
It's in the sticks.
It's a lot of fucking sticks, bro. Ain't a whole lot of like civilized
campo
area.
Is the direct translation would be a camp, basically a camp that's outside of the city that belongs to someone.
And what I mean by that is
they work and live off the land, basically.
Yeah,
that's what campo
you know, and of course they all have like access to different areas and this and that, but like you'll meet people there, bro. And shit, I've been to more places in the country than they have. They still haven't left their little ass fucking town. Yeah. You know, they're lucky to get a cell phone, if anything. And like it's and yes, there are a lot of places that are developed, but there are still a lot of places that hold a decent amount of population that aren't.
Yeah, well, that's where your first world, second world, and third world countries come in, right? And you know, it's just because of the development and logistics and all that shit. But anyway, like the point here is that those are all radical Islamic states that always scream death to America, death to infidels, and things like that. The reason that happens is because we do get involved in that, and we do fuck shit up economically, and we buy everything up, and we exploit everything. You know what I mean? We do that. We
fuck shit up literally and figuratively.
What do you think has
some bombs, level that motherfucker out?
What do you think has kept the United States from Puerto Ricoing the whole entire Caribbean?
From Puerto Rico, because we're already having a hard time with Puerto Rico to begin with. Puerto Rico is part of,
it's a colony, right?
It's a colony, but yet Puerto Rico is
its own country also.
Not only that, and it's different culture, different type of people, and they're not willing to change their ways to become more American, right? And
they're too communitized in that sense, like too.
And we're already having a hard time there. Like economically, you saw. I mean, we were just there in Puerto Rico with a cruise, right? We drove through there, man. There was not even like neighborhoods where they had nice buildings. Like everything is kind of like third world country. You know, it still looks like third world country. Right?
It is.
I mean, it's better than Cuba, clearly. I don't want to say it's better than Dominican Republic, by no means. But
architecture wise, no, it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
DR has like
better,
a lot of fucking nice architecture. I mean,
and
it might be dirty now.
At least they have new buildings there that they're building.
Oh,
and
you know? They're still constantly building.
Yeah, it's the control. Like they can't get it right where the people like. Number one, Puerto Ricans are pretty rebellious by nature. Number one. Number two, they're on an island time. So
I think all of our islands are rebellious by nature because of how. I mean, that's how they got their shit.
Slavery.
I mean,
that's how slavery started.
Yeah, it was in the Caribbean and all that shit. I mean,
and the whole thing is why they have in Puerto Rico everything is just. I think it just wouldn't work. At this point, it wouldn't fucking work. Like, there's just too many different people to try to get under one wing and try to deal with each one's politics. So right now, if you want to invest your money in Puerto Rico is what's called the triple tax-free state. If you take in your money, you can go in there. There's no taxes on any of your investments, which means any of the gains that you make are going to be like tax-free.
Like a certain amount.
You don't even have to. You just invest into their like a local debt, basically, like municipal bonds, the Puerto Rico bonds and stuff like that, and all that money is tax free, right? I mean, there's of course it's not a financial advice, but like it's tax free. Whatever gains you make, you don't pay any taxes on it, and even that cannot get people to invest there because the situation is not like at any time something could happen there. So a lot of people are just it's a big risk, you know. So
the big issue in Puerto Rico is those fucking electric outages.
yeah, there's that. Well, they can't keep even their own electric grid going. It's the logistics, right?
Happens in DR too.
Yeah, but in DR, I think DR kind of got it figured out a little better. Like Cuba is the worst out of all of them.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
And then and I think Puerto Rico is a pretty close second. You know, when it comes to
DR is one of those things where, like, certain areas are really bad, and then other areas is just like random. Like, and it happens maybe not like like not even every day kind of thing.
And in Puerto Rico, the only buildings and streets kind of look cleaner and a little more done was right by the cruise ships. That's it.
I mean,
those few buildings, like those few couple of streets, that was it. Besides that, there was nothing there. Is that the electrical grid?
Light pollution.
Light pollution. Yeah, like I mean, look at St. Pete real quick. Yeah, look at St. Pete area, bro. Like we're blasting. We're lit.
Yeah, Tampa Bay area is fucking
Lit.
out. This is an interesting map. Light pollution. Look at the fucking Everglades. Dark, nigga.
Yeah, dark. Yeah, pretty fucking dark.
What is that?
Haiti? No, it's Nassau, Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Where is Puerto Rico? Go down to Puerto Rico.
That's
Lower.
Cuba.
That
There's
right
the
there.
Dominican. Bro, look at like the half of the island for DR and like the other half where Haiti is. The right. So you guys at home, if you guys are looking at this, the right hand side is DR, and then there's like a line. Yeah, you see that line right there, Miguel?
Yeah, I'm pointing out the map.
Yeah, there you go. That's the line that separates DR from Haiti.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly say, like, at least even rural areas have some lights in Dominican Republic.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, look at Africa, bro. Like, majority of Africa, there's no lights.
They got fucking, what's it called?
Democratic Republic of Congo.
They got campfires.
Yeah, smoke signs, huh? Like Middle East is more developed.
I bet the whole right side of
Israel
Russia
right
ain't got shit.
What's Iran looking like?
That's the desert, right? Also, you gotta consider that. Like, you got a lot of desert land that's not gonna have any lights in there.
Wait, where's Iran?
It ran away.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Miguel's gonna put that in his little book.
Yes, I am.
That's
Oh, there it
Iraq.
is.
That's Iran.
Bro, these motherfuckers don't got light either.
No, because majority of that I think is desert land and shit.
Go to Russia.
Russia's up here.
Russia.
I knew it.
Well, Siberia. You ain't gonna have shit in Siberia.
Yeah, I
clearly.
knew it.
Yeah. All that Siberia. That's all like woodlands and shit.
You got more than Africa.
He does have more than Africa.
For
The
real,
majority is
like
concentrated.
got a decent amount of spots, like randomly.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Europe is probably the most lit up out of all
You got
of them.
little towns.
Yeah, those are
Like
little
that
towns.
town.
You know, I heard the other day that Australia is so much bigger than what the map actually
Yes.
depicts it to be. Like
The
a lot
this map that we're looking at is completely like wrong.
when it comes to size.
So sizes, yeah. And the reason it was like that because the maps were first done in Europe. That's why you get the Europe in the middle.
Yeah.
But then in American maps, America is in the middle. You know what I mean? Like rest of the world uses the other map, but whatever. What's that?
This
Mickey?
was just a more updated map.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I don't know. The geopolitics is such an interesting thing, and that literally like decides the fate of the countries, right? Like we're not even talking about like fate of the people, but
Miguel, so I want to check my spot out.
It's my people's.
It's still lit up a little bit though, right?
Yeah.
But see that little.
No, it ain't. In comparison.
I know.
Yeah. Then again, there's not much shit going
That's
on.
still Pinar del Rio.
This is the sticks, my dog.
That's pretty far from like the center of Pinar del Rio, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
Bless
guys.
you.
Thanks.
Yeah, we're fucking deep in them, motherfucker.
Damn, bro, I can see why you motherfuckers was fishing. You was. Oh, damn. I know your ass was catching snook in them little canals over there, boy.
Snook, bro. I never went to none of them.
He didn't know what snook is back then. What do you know snook back then?
Hell no.
Robalo, I mean, no, they have it
You
there.
know what I knew? Catfish.
Catfish, this motherfucker.
I got them bitches everywhere.
Yeah, everyone does.
I mean, I can't. I have to look in a real map.
Miguel, if there was like, if you had like a fishing list, like of places you want to go fish, like for certain fish, what would it be?
I'd say the Pacific,
Somewhere
number
in
one.
South
No,
America, like
Pacific
Costa
coast.
Rica or some shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I don't
I'd
blame
like to
you.
go to Brazil.
Why Brazil?
I'm
The
fucking-
rivers and shit.
Yeah, they got some crazy.
Those
fucking-
arapaimas and shit.
Nah.
Arapaima, the
Brazil's
one
a
with
bit
the big
Tiger
ass,
fish.
yeah, the one with the big ass teeth, bro. That's crazy. I saw the video on those the other day. They have holes on the top
to
of their
fit the
mouth to
teeth.
fit the teeth that literally like go into their skull.
Yeah.
They
But my
have
number one
fucking-
fishing spot would be like on the Pacific
They
coast.
have huge, really
Marlin.
Pacific.
Yeah, marlin.
You
But
catch
Costa
marlin
Rica,
out- you
Costa
catch-
Rica.
You can catch marlin out here,
Yeah, but it's not the same like the big marlin like over there.
bro. I'm be honest. I in my opinion, East Coast fishing fucking
Better?
murders West Coast fishing.
Does it?
Yes, inshore and offshore. I that would be my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know, but I don't know. It's a geopolitics. I don't know. Will United States continue to exist for another 1,000 years? Most likely, 2, 3, 4,000, 5,000 years. That's a different ball game at this point. It all depends on the politics.
What's the oldest current country?
This is my
Greece.
fishing spot in Cuba
Greece.
right here.
That is. That's where the catfish was.
That's where the catfish was at.
Plentiful.
Was it brackish or brackish water, or fresh water?
Muddy water.
Little tiny
It's
lake.
just a little, I don't know, pond or whatever the fuck. It was supposed to be a river. There used to be a bridge right here,
Mm.
and this was all full of water. You could fish from this bridge. I mean, you can see the remnants of it still right here.
What happened to the bridge? They built a road,
It just never got repaired, and shit got repaired over there.
and then it became a road.
Yeah, no, it's always this has always been a road.
Yeah.
This is like a little downhill. Boom, 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 boom. This used to be my house in Cuba. This right here, I believe. This one. No, was it this one or this one? One of these two used to be my grandma's. And then like some of my dad's family used to live around here. My stepdad's family used to be right here.
But do you see how social media and age of internet like changed the way people now meet each other and marry? Look at that. He's showing my dad's family was here. They're all kind of in the same village. They kind of met each other in the same village. Like this is what you had. Now, a decent looking girl.
My dad used to be from. She came down here. Right down here.
The
Around here.
sticks.
I don't remember exactly.
God damn, ain't shit out there but fields.
Oh, right here. This is where my grandma used to live. Holy shit.
How did you go there by foot?
Just like buses, like transport trucks, whatever you could find.
How long would that trip take?
His neighbor's his neighbor's.
horses
I
were
was just
another
about
one.
to say that his neighbor's mule. Fuck,
Yeah.
Whatever.
I wouldn't be able to even fucking tell you. This probably got updated. This
How
been
long
so
was
long.
that trip
For what?
to get there from your spot?
In a horse, probably like 2 hours.
Okay.
3 hours.
Okay, so it was what 20 miles?
I know
give
your
or
back.
take?
I know your back was fucking hurting after riding a horse for 20 miles. God damn.
Yeah,
And I bet that horse wanted to kill you.
By car, if the streets are good, you could probably get there in like 20 minutes.
Okay. So it was about what 10, 15 miles then difference.
Yeah, because it's like right down here. Boom, 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 boom. Right here. It's not that bad. It's like, let's see. It's like St. Pete to Tampa. 20
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
About the same distance.
Dude, I'm saying like we're so lucky to live in like countries that are developed because you don't realize the shit that exists out there in the world. And a lot of times when even if you go to like the touristy areas and whatever, you're not going into those sticks, right? You go into more populated cities where there's a little more infrastructure and you think the rest of the
Hell
country is
no.
like that.
But isn't it weird? Like, for example, I have some cousins. One of them is my age, and the other one's a little bit younger. And I was talking to them last time I was in DR. Or not this time, but the time before that. And I asked them, I was like, would you guys ever want to move to the United States? And the older one told me no, the one that was my age, and the younger one said yes. And I asked the older one, I was like, why? One of the biggest reasons she told me was the people.
The people.
Yes, and she was saying like basically how like everyone is kind of like everyone's kind of like one big family, like you and all your friends and everything, and like how people aren't like that here. People are more rude here and less likely to help and all those things. And I mean, she made valid points if you ask me when it comes to like how the American culture is compared to their culture, you know. And the younger one said no, and I think she said she said she would like to move here, and I think that was more of like just the accessibility to everything was her main point.
The novelty and shit.
Yeah, the novelties that you get by living here. Like, for example, if they want to order something on Amazon, like, say it's like a $30 item, they have to pay like an additional $20 just to get it delivered to the spot where they have to still go and pick it up. Because they don't deliver to your house, right? They deliver to like basically like a P.O. box, right? And when you deliver to that P.O. box, they charge you like $20 or even more sometimes, she said. So that's like when and everything is more expensive, right?
Yeah.
An iPhone is $300-400 more than what you would pay here.
Yeah, because of the taxes. They tag taxes on top.
I remember we went to one of the malls and we were looking around and it's like, bro, everything is like, it's all the same shit. It's just way more expensive here.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? Like, I was looking at watches and stuff. It's crazy, like the pricing. Like, they had a whole Casio store. And you'd think you can go in there and fucking buy the $15 Casio. Hell no, they had that shit for like the original price from back in the day at $25-30.
I'm just out here looking at my country, guys.
You just doing some.
Just zoned out.
It's crazy how big Cuba is. It's the biggest. What is it? Archipelago. Archipelago. Whatever. It's not an island technically.
Well, Cuban island is pretty fucking big.
Yeah. What is that little island off the side there, maybe on the south? Yeah,
This
that.
one?
Yeah.
La Isla de la Juventud.
La Isla de la Juventud. Really, that's what it's called.
Why?
I've never met nobody from there.
Well,
Really?
motherfuckers never met anybody from everywhere else either.
Nobody, no. There ain't
How you get there, bro?
Boat.
Don't, bro.
It's
How?
a boat. Only thing is a boat.
I mean, it looks like they have an airport in Santa Fe. Right? That's a plane symbol, the green one.
No, that's a
I wanna-
park.
I want to put down this, but I can't.
Motherfucker. Hey, you're right. It is a park.
Okay, we can put it here.
Where the fuck did you put it? That's the only place. It's top of the mountain, so they can film it, and that's all you're getting. This is it. You can't go anywhere.
How do you even get this view, bro?
Motherfucker with the fucking little camera on his back hiked all that.
Yo, there is someone. Look at the shadow. Go left. Go down. There's a shadow.
Well, yeah. Well, he clearly
Look at his feet.
He clearly had to look at his shoes, bro. Those are military shoes.
That
Those are military. That motherfucker went off to fucking barracks just to film this to get a little bit of money from
Google
from
sent
Google.
him.
Yeah.
Google sent him a little contract. Like,
Yeah.
yo, do this shit.
Actually, the captain got the money because
Let's see what
Dude,
You're
that's
on a-
crazy.
you're on a mission, my friend.
There's no
There's no way for you to get
Parque
there.
Nacional Marino de Punta Francés.
How many people live there to begin with?
Hey, yo.
What the fuck?
That'd be a fire spot to get some pictures. Little they know they were fucking.
What is that? I just want to know what the fuck is
that.
this.
That looks kind of creepy. I ain't gonna lie. The way there's all those stilts there.
It looks like a fucking
looks like a theater or some shit.
yeah, either theater or like
Theater, but where's
another
like the
coliseum where
stage.
lions used to fight. You know.
Those look like they might have been legs for tables.
But what's the population there? That's interesting. All right, ChatGPT to rescue.
76K.
Damn.
Shit, that's a lot of people.
Even more back in the day, 2022, 83.
Yeah,
Even
that's a lot of
motherfuckers are
people.
leaving there. Go back to the Google Finder thing. I want to see. And go to, just type it in, Villa Altagracia. So Villa, and then Alta. Villa like LL. Villa.
VIA.
Like Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, Villa Altagracia.
But bro, like names Via Alta Gracia, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just the
This is
names
where we
themselves.
always go and stay in like the mountains and stuff. So this is gonna be in the city part.
Yeah,
Right.
but this is nice. Look at this. This is fucking actually like, look at it. This looks better than Puerto Rico, like down capital of Puerto Rico. I'm not gonna lie.
This looks better than any part of Cuba. I can tell you that.
And this is in nowhere, right? In Dominican Republic. They still kind of like take care of the shit, you know?
Just go back to like the map view. See if you can put you in the mountains.
Where are the mountains? Left or right?
Yeah, right side, I think.
Oh fuck! Hold on, let's go back.
So yeah, go in.
Yes, the mountains are here.
Yeah, I think
Right
it's
there.
that right side.
Now you're asking for too much, Eddie. That's the fucking river. Oh shit!
Hey
Yeah.
yo. Hey, watch. Ain't no AC in that motherfucker. Ain't no AC. Damn, bro, that's crazy. Who the hell is posting this shit on Google? Hey, but look, they got cell phones out in that motherfucker.
They do.
Teachers don't give a fuck.
No, it's probably one of the students that was doing it. It's probably a project. Yeah, bro, look at this shit, bro. Like, this isn't campo. This is what campo is, but this is a nice campo. You know what I mean? This is somebody that got money.
Yeah, this is called.
This is
someone
money.
that
This
has
is fuck you
and-
money, you
yeah,
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real fuck you money out there to own that property.
They be involved in some shit with this one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just so much more developed, you know? Well, they
There you go.
done fucked up that picture.
See, that's because he got a fucking Android from 2009. So this is the sticks right here: dirt road, fucking houses.
Yeah, this is the campo.
Yeah,
This is the campo
this
you
is
were
what
talking
I see,
about.
Yeah,
This is what I was used to.
look at that mountain in the background, though. It's
Houses
nice to
just
go out
like
there.
this. Wooden houses.
Fucking big bad wolf would come
Planks.
down and fucking blow them
Fucking
shits away.
planks.
Bro, we actually went down when I was on my last Colombia trip. We went down roads like this to get to the finca that we're going to, and then it's so crazy. It's like these type of roads that are not undeveloped, and then you go into these like $1 million homes. To me, that was crazy. It's like, how do you not build the road? You know what I mean?
Well, people with money make those houses out there, but aren't necessarily gonna fucking build a road, and
Correct.
the government won't do it either.
And there's a lot of corruption. So government gives the money, and they're like, "Oh, it just ran out." But the
I mean,
motherfuckers
where
just
we
wasted.
go for my cousin, where my uncle has his property. I mean, that's a nice property he has, right? I mean, he's got money. He's got some money. So, but then like, there's some other properties out there. There's some houses that are like being freshly built that look fucking badass. But guess what? If you got a fucking Toyota Corolla,
You ain't
good
getting
luck.
through.
Good luck getting in that bitch, especially if it just rained. Whew.
Oh, look at Africa's map. Do you see how a lot of it is? Go back to Africa. If
What
you
is it
can.
doing, Miguel?
This is a radio.
This is what?
Radio garden. It's radios from all over the world.
Radios for what though? Like just radios, random radios.
Yeah.
The fuck?
And you can listen to radio for free. I got it. Look at Africa. Look at the majority, like that top part of Africa is all fucking desert. There's nothing green there. You know, that's why it was all like fucking no light pollution, because they can't run electricity through
Go
there.
to South Africa.
Like-
Let's see what Daniel used to listen to.
Saudis and EAU is the only country that built a fucking city on sand, and they had like trees and shit that are growing with grass. You know, like
Techno.
they're the only ones. You know where I would like to go? The island of Madagascar. That would be like cool to see. I think. I don't know.
So I told him,
My buddy, I know
No,
my
I don't
buddy
like
did
money.
the most South
He says,
Point,
then
like
you know what? You must go
Ushuaia,
live in the
and,
mountains.
Like, did all,
You-
all that stuff there. He
you-
said it was
you
cool
ate
as
a hab-
shit when he went.
Where?
Ushuaia, which is like South America, the most southern point, is the most southern city is called Ushuaia, it's Argentina city. And you go, and that's like the most dangerous canal to go through because there's so many waters that meet there. There's always like big waves and shit. We took a cruise there. Like, what is it? Cool that?
Out in Miami, that's famous for
Oh, yes.
really bad waves and
I've
stuff.
seen that with
Look
people
it
like
up,
this
Miguel.
with the boats and
There's a
shit.
million compilations of the
All
Hollover.
over it.
Yeah, you've heard of that, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. I actually
That's
saw
where like the most boating accidents happen, right? Like
Yeah,
people
a
getting
shit
injured
ton.
and shit.
I saw a video the other day of this guy that he hit the water so hard in his big ass boat he injured 2 people so bad they had to go to the hospital.
Shit.
Looked like the guy got his teeth blown out hitting the deck.
And that's usually somebody just trying to be like cool and shit. You know?
No, not necessarily. You kind of have to go through tough waves. Like you can't go super slow.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, this inlet is super bad. Oh yeah, Hollover Daily. They have a motherfucking page for this shit. See, like doing stuff like this and then letting little kids do this at Hollover, that's the dumbest shit ever. You're not allowed to have your legs hanging off the vessel when it's moving. That's a illegal.
Well, it's Miami, bro. Ain't nobody give a fuck about that.
Look at this shit. Oh, there goes the platform. Bye bye. Just hope it don't hit the motor. Motor's already sunk. Fucking bitch is deep in the water.
Yep, that's gone.
Boom. Starts hitting the motor.
No,
And
that's
it's gone.
that's an inboard motor. How many cell phones were lost in that one?
Cell phones' lives have been lost at that inlet.
What's the fucking? I don't understand. What is the want to go through this shit? Like, why would you
Well,
want to be
you
this
have to.
unfucking comfortable?
You have to
Being
sometimes, bro.
seasick, dude, and being in this shit, fuck.
Oh, you'd want to kill yourself, bro. You want to be in there, and you already seasick and going through
You
that
got
shit.
going on top of you.
Yeah,
I
fuck
don't know.
that.
Look at that. No, get out of here. Look
No,
at that
I
other
want to see
boat.
this shit.
That boat. No, the one
I
below.
want to see this shit. Wait. This shit's always bad when they take air like this. Oh, these motherfuckers in their goddamn ads, Miguel. Good damn it.
Go down. That one. Yeah, that one.
Boom. Oof. Boom. Boat
Oh, he's
loses
taking in
power.
water. No.
Oh, a diving boat.
Well, at least those motherfuckers are prepped for the water.
They better start
In those
diving.
currents, you think you can dive? Huh.
No, but at least you have oxygen.
Yeah. And you know how they know how to swim well. God damn.
Girl, get your ass back in there.
Yeah,
what
what
the
the
fuck?
She probably works on a boat.
Yeah, she does.
Why is she
but her
unlocking
ass
the
is
thing?
gonna
Where's she
fall
going?
off.
Where's she going? Where's she going? You better sit your ass back
fucking-
down.
She was literally
She's
screaming
strong and
at her,
independent.
"Get
Leave
the
her
fuck back
alone.
in. Get the fuck back in.
Yeah, she's strong and independent, bro. She can do it.
Dropping anchor. Yeah, those are bad waves, bro.
Yeah, they are. Why is the inlet like that? Is because of the bottom?
I'm
guessing.
sure it's because of the amount of like current that runs through there and how small the inlet is. It just funnels through so much water through a small place. That probably causes that. I'm sure there's multiple reasons on that.
What does that
accumulate.
mean? Engine is back on. No PFD stays on bow.
No personal floating device on.
Or meaning like they should have had like those
Life jacket on.
life jackets on at this point.
Well, he says stay on bow, which is this guy on the front. They're talking about this dude that's on the front with no life jacket.
Basically like breaking rules and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't technically have to have a life jacket. They're just saying that it'd be smart for him to have one if the boat's moving and he's up there.
But he's like, what is a PFD? Pregnant female dominatrix. You gotta love the internet.
Are you reading the comments?
Oh, shit.
I should have said that to you when you asked.
Pregnant female dominatrix.
Yeah, but see now they're by the shore, but you see those rocks. If that boat hit those rocks, it'd be game over, like instantly.
Yeah, and if
for
you-
everyone.
And if you fall in that water, it's going to be very hard for you to swim back to shore. You're going to have something come pick you up. Oh, shit. She thinks she's chilling. She thinks she's chilling.
Well, you notice how
man-
she's 20 and he's 60 or 50.
She is not 20. What the fuck?
Okay, she's 30. He's still older than her.
I don't know about
She's
even
not
30. Yeah,
She's
she
about
is.
37, 38, brother.
She's
Think
40
so?
easy. Yeah,
Easy.
she looked older.
She looked like she just got a brand new tire, right?
Yeah,
Straight out of
she-
Michelin.
2 tires, you mean?
Of course, you gotta get the pair. You can't just get one brand new tire.
Yeah, because then the other one gets all fucked up.
Exactly. It's
I
missing
saw a
out.
girl on Instagram today. She got one fucking mosquito bite on one side and a fucking double D cup on the other. I don't know what the hell happened to her, but
Well, that's like all fake. Like everything about it is fake.
oh, she gonna lose the whole rope. She gonna lose
I've
the whole
seen
rope.
this video before.
She gonna lose the whole rope, ain't she? She gonna throw it.
No, she nails it.
Oh really?
Bam.
Oh damn, he fucking powered the motor. First thing she checked, did my titties fall out? She looked down her chest right away.
Damn. But like I never could understand what makes women to go that route to look like that. To me, that's like, it's not very attractive when I see that. You know what I mean? Like all those BBLs and all those.
I don't know. Somebody likes it. That's why they're doing it. Clearly,
I don't think so, man. I
I
think
think a lot of guys like it.
I don't know.
Why else would they be doing it? I mean,
They get the attention. It's all done for the attention, clearly.
yeah, but attention because somebody likes it.
But the attention doesn't mean fucking relationship.
I
Well,
think-
okay, you're going on a whole nother tangent.
Yeah.
Jay.
I think fake boobs look great at attention as we're talking. Like when you're standing up and shit. But once you get to see that cut underneath your titty, it's like,
Well,
and then there's positions.
It's done by a good surgeon. You can barely tell.
There's positions where they're in too, where you can just see like, they're fake. Like you can just see like a bowl just sticking out.
well, the cut under the titty that's when somebody botched it up. That's why they had to go under the titty, or it's
Come
like an
on.
old way of doing
all
it.
all girls have to get some type of
Yeah, they
position
do it
to
on
put
under.
in there. There's
Not
different
under. They
ways
do
to
it on a
it.
nipple line. The newest way is to do it on the nipple line. This way you don't see it because it's a transition.
I don't know.
That's the newest way of doing
Maybe
it.
that's the way, man. But so far, what they've got the little slit under, or they got the fucking botched surgery where their
Yeah.
whole fucking titty looks like Frankenstein.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
disgusting, bro.
Bitch look like a goalpost.
And what happens a lot of times, these girls got to get it replaced every 10 years. Most of them don't do that. And what happens, your body will naturally calcify that thing, and it becomes like rock. Because there's like it becomes like bone, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
I've seen
thinner
that.
bone.
I've seen that.
And you know, when you go to touch that shit, it's literally
I
like
remember
fucking
this
smacking
video.
rock.
This video of this girl that she got like an ass implant, and it went viral of her flipping
Yeah, the
flipping the
thing.
implant, and
Yeah.
you could see it like go inverted and have the flat side on the
Yeah.
outside. It fucking looked hilarious.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Girls will go through all this shit just for a little bit of attention. Well, guys do that shit too. You know, the guys thing is, guys will go to the gym and they'll start getting bulky, and they'll start getting compliments because they're slimming down. They're starting to have some muscle, and they're like, well, shit. If I get double the size, I'll get the double the compliments. So that's when they start doing the roids, and that's when they look like roid monkeys. But now, the compliments subside, right? Like because it's a very fine balance. It happens with girls and their weight. Girls will lose weight. They'll get skinny. They'll start getting compliments. Well, if I get twice as skinny, they're gonna give me more compliments. Then they look like a fucking rail. You know what I mean? So it's a human
Fucking
psyche,
rail.
bro. It's just a human psyche. Like we people are all kinds of fucked up in our heads because of our like, insecurities or whatever, however you want to call them. You know, everybody's got one. You know, every hobby you ever had, everything you ever collected, it comes from some sort of insecurities. Like I collect fucking colognes. I don't know where that fucking shit comes from, but I keep collecting them, right? Like no one needs as many as I have. Like literally, if I stop buying, I have enough for the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah,
And
I don't think in the rest of my days will I own as many as you currently have right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would probably leave this shit as an inheritance to children. You know what I mean? That's how much I got.
Here's an aged 75-year-old cologne bottle from.
Yeah,
your
this should be
grandpa.
good. The minute you spray it, it's rancid because it's been too long. You know.
I don't
But
know. What do you mean, like hobbies? All hobbies and interests come from some sort of insecurity.
anything like that where you collect certain things, like you collect colognes. It all comes from somewhere, right? Like you collect guitars.
But why would it
comes
have to
from
be
somewhere
some
where
sort of insecurity?
insecurity or not having some, like we're somebody like that collects like a lot of guitars. Why guitars? Like you're never gonna be able to play them all. Why do you collect so many guitars? Why do you collect so many shoes? Like what's the thing behind it? You don't get to wear them because a lot of these people that have a lot of shoes, they don't get to wear them.
The same. Not all shoes are the same.
Not all shoes are the same, yeah, but you can't wear them all at once.
I don't know. I think I'm just with Eddie here. I'm just trying to figure out if that's a fact that you got from a book, and I'm just trying to logically disprove it.
It logically makes no sense. Why would you let's
God
say?
damn it, you can't tell them the fucking plan.
No, you can. You can logically try to disprove it, but it's gonna be difficult. Why? Because explain to me, why would somebody own 100 pairs of shoes? 100 pairs of shoes. When are you gonna wear them?
But what does that have to do with an insecurity of when you're gonna wear them?
I think it has to do with something because we've gotten to the point where clothes and shoes and colognes, maybe this is, I'm fucking speculating, that's kind of like demonstrates some sort of a status, maybe because you have this XYZ thing, so you're trying to bump up your status by having these things. I think that's where this comes in from. It meaning security, meaning like maybe you feel like you don't have enough status, and this
But
thing's
what
gonna
about-
give you the status.
Go ahead.
So
As I said, I'm
my point
speculating
will
on
be
this.
quick. I feel like certain people, and I agree with you in certain things, right? And maybe it all started that way, and maybe it didn't continue that way, but maybe started, right?
Yeah.
But I think in certain cases, I mean, a lot of people can enjoy things in a room by themselves and never have anyone else know they enjoyed it.
Yeah, no,
And
there's
so
that too.
I don't see how that would be attached to an insecurity.
You know, that would be that. There's definitely that. For example,
Yeah.
like there's cologne collectors. They'll collect cologne. They'll never wear it around people because they're the only ones that enjoy the smell of this. And if they're worried around people, they will look fucking crazy. You know what I mean? They're that type of colognes where you can't wear them. Like there's one. It's made by Etat Libre, and it's a Secretions Magnifique. Can you plug that into Fragrantica and just look at the notes? Secretions Magnifique, cologne, yeah, perfume. There you go. Pull that up on a Fragrantica. Look at the notes on this thing. Go down. It says marine lactonic. Don't look at this shit. Go down, because none of that shit says anything. Look at this. It's seaweed, milk, coconut, iris, Popunax, and sandalwood. When people put this on, they say it smells straight like urine. It smells straight like urine. That's like the number one. Like, go read some of the comments on this. Yeah, there you go. Cum and blood. That's literally what it smells like.
Cum and blood.
Yeah.
That's a nasty fucking.
Like, these are the comments on people. Like, but you look at the ingredients, like, oh, well, seaweed and milk and coconut should smell good. No.
I don't know
It
about
smells
that. Milk? Fucking milk?
lactonic.
I don't ever
Yeah.
think milk.
Any other gourmand meaning like something that will go close to like food, towards food. Anything with caramel, they'll throw milk in it or coconut water in it, coconut on it. Like cookies and shit, cookies and cream and milk. Like you get that smell. Yeah, you get the milky lactonic smell. But this one is like literally, like people are saying it smells like cum and blood. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't, if you enjoy that smell, you can't bring the shit around people. Like, you gotta sit at home and enjoy this on your own. You know what I mean? It's unwearable.
What I mean is like you would like even something that is. See that's what I mean. Like you wouldn't wear this around people because you would feel some kind of insecurity towards your hobby, right? What I mean is like I think there are certain things that you can enjoy and enjoy them to the extent where you don't even care to do it around people.
This is a good
My
one.
point
Plug
earlier
in.
was going to be is I don't think about it as having an insecurity. I think it's you trying to become an expert at the one specific hobby that you really like and being able to try and experience everything that it has to offer. So thus you get a bunch of different things.
Yeah, but like plug in this one. Plug in T-Rex by Zoologist.
T-Rex?
I think it's T-Rex by yeah, there you go. Yeah, pull that up. This perfume right here, if you're in a store, they will not allow you to spray test it. If you want to spray test it, they take you outside and then they spray it on a paper and you're not allowed to bring that paper inside. But people buy it and they love it. Like you can't, a lot of people say you can't wear this around everyone. Like, it's just,
I don't know. I
doesn't
feel
work.
like if you can't wear perfume whenever you want, why buy it?
That's where that comes in. Where you're at night on your own at your home, you like the smell, you spray it on, and you're the only one that enjoys the spray, the smell. That's why you would get.
Yeah,
that
but
for.
like you put a perfume on and you stop smelling it in 10 minutes anyways, and everyone else continues to smell it for fucking a day or two. Or whatever.
And this is why they don't wear it. You know what I mean? This is why people don't wear it. But bottom line is that I think like when you go overboard with some things, like when there's an excess of something, I think that usually, in my opinion, comes from some sort of an insecurity that you're trying to fill some sort of a gap or a hole. So, yeah. So
I don't know. I think that gap or hole doesn't necessarily have to be an insecurity. Like gap or hole can be like some people also just need something to keep their mind busy.
Like for example, okay, let me ask you
Like
a
when
question.
you get into a hobby, like Miguel's talking about, like trying to become an expert about something, you know.
Like, well, let me ask you this. Let me tell you an example of mine. Right? How many geese do you think I have?
Geese?
Geese.
I don't know.
7,
like
8,
seven,
right? Like 6,
eight,
7, 8.
Yeah,
I don't even know how many I have. Right? 6, 7, 8. Out of the 6, 7, 8, how many do I constantly wear?
probably 2.
1 or 2.
Mm.
That's it. And one that I wear is the same exact copy of the other one because I got 2 of them in a package. So it's the same exact
show
copy.
roll ones that you have that are thin.
Yep. And I've been wearing the short roll one most of the time. If not, I'm usually wearing that thick tatami one. That's it. I don't wear any other ones.
The one that
I'll
no
go
one
to
can
the other
grab.
ones if the 2 are not washed.
The tatami one that no one can grab.
Yep, that
because
one.
it's too tight on you.
Mm-hmm. No, that one people can grab. Not that.
I know there's
tatami.
one. I know
there's a white tatami one that no one can grab.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I have that anymore. I think I gave it to your girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has it.
Yeah,
now.
good, because you shouldn't be fucking wearing that. I think it was a cheat code.
Wouldn't that say?
I think it was a fucking cheat code. You guys want to wrap it up?
Yeah, they're there for backup. Yeah, but they've been a backup. They've been fucking rotten there for backup. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, I think when you get too much too deep into something that there's like an excess of, and like you're not gonna be able to ever use it. You just have it for having it. Like I have this thing with shoes, right? As a little kid, we were poor, so I couldn't afford shoes. So I always liked shoes. So I have a lot of shoes. I do have a lot of shoes. I don't get to wear them all. Like you don't even know how many. If I don't even know how many like actual nice shoes that I would wear with a suit I have. Ask me when was the last time I wore ones.
I have 2 pairs, a brown and a black.
Yeah,
when it comes to dress
I got
shoes.
the brown, the black,
But
the blue, the different kinds.
When it comes to sneakers, I have about 15 pairs of sneakers.
Yeah,
and I wear probably 4 of them on a rotation.
that's what I'm saying. That's why it's the same with me. I have a lot of sneakers, but I wear 4 or 5 on rotation. And then I get a new shoe and I start wearing that, and then it gets old until
I
I
have
get
like
the new
4
one.
pairs of Crocs. I wear the same one.
That's what I'm trying to say.
No, actually, I'm lying about that. No, the Crocs I do kind of swap out constantly because, like, for example, what happens is I'll go fishing, and when I'm fishing and I catch a fish and I don't want to wipe my finger, like I want to wipe my hands off before I start touching the reel and shit, I'll wipe them on the Crocs, and then when I get home, I like put them on the side. And,
No,
like,
I don't feel the same about the money. Not ask the question. Sorry, I didn't mean to break it up. I don't feel the same about the money because that money, like, you know, talking about the generational wealth, because I know money is something that you need. And if my kid's going to fly in private jets, I would need to have the money. So I don't feel the same about the money. No. Money gives you the freedom. Like, and actually people that say, oh, money doesn't give you happiness are fucking idiots. Whoever thinks that way, they can send me their money. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's much easier to fly on a private jet than on a fucking on coach. You know, when you go on across.
When you said that, I thought of the song. My coworker did an edit to this song today. It's just the country song. It's like, money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a boat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Money is there for you to buy all the other shit. Now, happiness is, you know, you're unhappy. Then most people. Like a lot of people go down the rabbit hole was like, oh, if I have money, I'll be happy. No, that's not true. You won't be happy necessarily.
But having millions of dollars in a terminal disease, let's see how far that takes you.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's much easier to cry in a Mercedes than on a bicycle when it's raining. You know what I mean? Like, that's the difference. You're still going to be crying, but it's just how you cry that matters.
If you're having a terminal disease, you're going to probably be crying no matter where the fuck you are.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're in a room, if you're outside or wherever.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. You're going to be crying, but where are you going to be crying? That's the difference. Right? Like, you're still going to be crying. You're still going to be unhappy, but where are you going to be crying? On a bicycle when it's raining or in a Mercedes? That's a big difference. You know what I mean?
Here for a good time, not a long time. Let's get it, boys. Let's end it here.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Shout out to Natalie.
Books.
Yeah, shout out to Natalie for joining us today. We appreciate that. And, yeah, we'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Peace.
Peace.